In the wake of KSI fighting Logan Paul being interviewed by Casey Neistat, and the suicide force controversy in Japan slowly blowing over in Logan Paul's favor, it really begs the question, has Logan Paul changed? So firstly, before I get into this video, I want to preface two things. Firstly, I am not part of the Logang by any means at all whatsoever. I've never actually been a big fan of Logan Paul. I'm just genuinely curious about this whole situation, how he is recovering and his business and everything along those lines. On this YouTube channel, you know that I cover business and I talk about how to grow your presence on the internet, and I'm genuinely curious about how Logan Paul has evolved over the past 7 months and to see if we can learn something from this whole experience. And two, this is the first part in a 3-part series about Logan Paul and this whole controversy that happened 7 months ago and kind of how he's recovered, his business, all the different stuff like that. I'm very, very excited about this series. I'm going to do one every Sunday for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be awesome. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the very beginning of this year, like one of the first days in January, Logan Paul created a video in Japan showing a dead body that was in the suicide forest. Now, long story short, that did not go over well with the media and the entire world other than Logan Paul's team of executives, and that caused a crap load of controversy, and it triggered this huge chain of events. So with that being said, you guys already know what happened with the whole controversy. Logan Paul quit vlogging for about a month. He came back being the same exact person. Of course, Logan Paul did create that PSA about suicide, but it did change his content other than that video. He was still doing the same exact daily vlogs, being immature. He hadn't learned anything as much as he had preached that he did. I mean, a few days later, he tased a dead rat.
Why? It's already dead. Why?
I hate rats.
Just all of his content in general was just becoming really, really insensitive, and it seemed like he was doing it on purpose. It seemed like he was digging his own grave, and that's continuously what he was doing. Every day, he would just dig his grave one shovel deeper. He just kept trying and trying to dig his grave. But, you know, time heals all wounds, and also time changes people. And over time, Logan Paul started to create vlogs that were not so self-centered and so immature and insensitive, and he actually quit daily vlogging a few months after the whole suicide force controversy. And I think this was Logan Paul taking a step back from what he was doing and actually realizing the damage that he was causing. Logan Paul is a really, really smart dude, and he doesn't get the respect that he deserves business-wise. And I'm gonna be doing a video about that. That's gonna be the second part, called Logan Paul is actually a genius. With that being said, so he quit daily vlogging and just take a step back and actually start creating things, which I personally think is a huge step for Logan Paul as a creative person, just as a person in general. He needed to take that step. And around that time too, he took on a fight with KSI. Now, I'm not gonna speak too much on that in this part of the series. There's a lot that I want to cover in that sense in the second episode of this series, so be tuned next Sunday. Make sure to subscribe. But I think the biggest question now is, has his content changed at all? Now, at first, his content obviously didn't change at all. Like I said, he tased the dead rat. He was still making that immature, insensitive content that no one wanted him to make. But just recently, the other day, as I was going back on Logan Paul's channel and watching some of his videos, as I was writing this video, I was pleasantly surprised. Still, I'm not a big Logan Paul fan. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm subscribed, I'm part of Logang now. What I am saying is that his videos are more mature. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Logan Paul has totally changed. Yet, there's more that I want to talk about. If you guys have a chance, he made a video about his girlfriend, and that video was like, it was actually good. Like, it wasn't a bad vlog like he had been doing for the past 4 freaking years. So here's where the bulk of this video lies. 2 weeks ago, Casey Neistat interviewed Logan Paul and just uploaded it to his YouTube channel just a few days ago. Now, when I first watched this video, I had mixed feelings and emotions, and I feel like that was the same way that Casey Neistat felt when he uploaded the video to begin with.
I want to give a tiny bit of context, and it's now been a full week since I did the interview. To be totally honest, I wasn't sure. I'm still not sure if releasing it is the right thing. The thing that I hope to learn, my very specific intention with this interview, was to see if he was sincere about what he's trying to accomplish with this documentary, or if the whole thing's just a charade for good PR. And now, after like watching this interview over and over and over, I don't know.
Part of me felt like, oh, Logan Paul is changing, he's becoming a better person, but then the other part of me was like, this is a total PR stunt, which it is. I think it's both. Personally, for me, I watched the interview in the mindset of, I'm gonna let Logan Paul try to explain to me what happened, what was going through his mind. I still don't exactly know what I think. And I think going out of it, watching the interview, I do think that Logan Paul himself has changed some, but he's not totally there yet. And about this whole Casey Neistat interview thing, there's been a bunch of like backlash about like different things that were talked about, and I kind of want to cover those, like the different mindsets going out of that interview, and I want to share my thoughts on what I believe is going on. So firstly, the brand. Everyone was like, oh, Logan Paul only cares about his brand. Here's what Logan Paul said.
While I can still be a good person, I'm also possibly am, the guy who takes things to extremes. That's who I am. That's the brand of Logan Paul. Because I made these mistakes, yes, I'm going to demonstrate more empathy and more compassion, but at the same time, I still have my brand. And what's authentic to me is that brand of living life on the edge.
So right now we're going to do Business 101 with Paul. Let's go. So let's talk about Logan Paul and his business models. Firstly, we have Logan Paul, and secondly, we have Maverick. Now firstly, let's talk about Logan Paul. Logan Paul's personal brand. Logan Paul is Logan Paul. And when he's talking about making his brand better, he's also talking about making himself better. He's talking about his personal appearance, his persona, his everything that is online, on the internet. His brand is himself. And what I don't think people are getting when he keeps referring to the brand, he's referring to himself as a business person. That's the mindset that he's thinking through. Those are the lens he's thinking through. He's thinking through the lenses as a businessman. Now, secondly, Maverick. Maverick is like his... Okay, so you know how I have Beats by Dre. So these are Beats headphones. They're cool headphones. They are Beats by Dre. Maverick is a clothing line by Logan Paul. It's Maverick by Logan Paul. Now, what people are not getting about this whole line is that Logan Paul is not Maverick. Yes, Logan Paul refers to himself as the Maverick, but that he wants to be a clothing brand. Now, here's the thing that I understand that not a lot of people that aren't in like the business world will. Logan Paul has the potential to sell Maverick for a very, very high amount of monies. Like a lot of monies. Like a lot of monies could be sold for Maverick. And that's the difference between Logan Paul and Maverick. Okay? Logan Paul is a personal brand, whereas Maverick is an actual business, it's an enterprise, it's an apparel line, it's an apparel brand. So to preface everything that I just said, when Logan Paul refers to himself as the brand, he's referring to himself. Like, it's not weird. Of course he cares about the brand. He is the brand. I don't understand why people think that's so horrible. Okay, next, rehabilitating his image.
The question that the doc answers is how do you recover from that? Can you recover from that? Me sitting with you right now, I'm in the journey. Is it possible for Logan Paul to make a comeback? Or am I gonna be a failed YouTuber and fall and crawl into a hole like half the world wants me to do?
I'll just ask directly, like, is this a fluff piece to make people feel better about Logan Paul?
So this was something that a lot of people got mad about going out of this interview, which kind of interesting to me, because like no dip would Logan Paul want to help himself rehabilitate the image and use anybody that's at all willing to help. Now, I don't think that Casey Neistat was used in this situation to help Logan Paul rehabilitate his image. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think A, he was thinking, oh my gosh, I can help rehabilitate my image, I gotta think exactly what I'm saying. And B, I think what was going through his head is that he was thinking, wait, if I do this interview and really just make this a candid interview where Casey can ask me anything that he wants to ask me, this is gonna prove that I am owning up to this. Now yes, both those could be taken in the context that he was trying to rehabilitate his image, and I do think he was to a certain extent. But what I don't get from an audience standpoint is if you were in Logan Paul's situation, you'd be doing the same exact thing. Whether or not Logan Paul has become a better or worse person since the whole Japan suicide forest controversy, he's trying to make his online internet presence better. And, you know, even if he is a worse person, maybe we should just be glad that he's trying to be a better role model for kids on the internet. Okay, next thing, the documentary. So, I hate this. This is the part where I feel like Logan Paul is 100% in the wrong.
So let me start. I just want to ask, what is this documentary?
Yeah, so I mentioned it on one of my vlogs, and there's been a lot of speculation on what people think it is. The doc is not it's not a documentary about how dang hard my life has been this year. It's about the story of a young man from Ohio, a seemingly regular kid, being me, of course, falling into the social media machine over the past 4 years, building an audience, garnering false power through views, which equates to money, which equates to, again, success, and then essentially losing it all overnight, becoming the most hated man in the world in the snap of a finger. So,
is the video about how you've learned to better empathize with others, or is the video about making it easier for people to sympathize with you?
Logan Paul should not by any means be creating a documentary about his whole controversy. That's so stupid. Here's the thing. He's not gonna make a comeback by making a documentary. He's gonna make a comeback by actually showing that he's a better person, aka look at PewDiePie. This whole documentary is a PR move and everyone knows it. No matter how biased Logan Paul tries to be, the documentary is gonna be full of BS. So the issue that Logan Paul is inevitably gonna face is that the people that he's trying to reach aren't gonna watch the documentary. And the people that the documentary will reach are his fans that already have forgiven him and didn't even think the whole thing was offensive in the first place. Now, here's the last question. Does Logan Paul actually feel guilty, and has he changed? For me, myself, and so many others, it was so hard to really pinpoint what Logan Paul's true intentions were for this interview and if he really has changed. Does he feel genuinely sorry about what happened? And here are my thoughts. Now, Logangsters, you're gonna love this, and people that hate Logan are gonna hate this, but I think he's genuine, that he's sorry. No matter what you think about Logan Paul, no matter how bad you think he is, which I personally think he's bad, he made some horrible mistakes and decisions in the past 6 months, 7 months, but Logan Paul is still a human being. How can you do something so horrible, have such crazy backlash all over the world, and not feel bad about it at all? I genuinely feel like Logan Paul is sorry about what he did. But like, no joke, how could you not feel ashamed by that? I genuinely feel that Logan Paul is sorry. The question really lies with me, has he changed? So let me explain my thoughts about what I personally believe happened before he walked into that forest, before the whole controversy, after the controversy, how he's coped with it. Let me explain. Now, the only way that I'm able to explain this to you is to go to the extreme. I think that Logan Paul was manic. Now, yes, obviously that's not confirmed, and I don't believe that he was manic in the sense that, you know, manic. Like, I don't think he was totally insane, but his mind wasn't working in the right way. Watching these interviews, Logan Paul continuously stated this.
Up until that point in my life, it was really only wins. It was only success. It was only consistent growth. And I got so caught up with my actions being validated by millions of people, I forgot to be a human being in that situation and instead decided to be a content creator. And that's where I messed up.
The pressure of being a YouTuber, of being a daily vlogger, of uploading every single day, of having to maintain that audience, get more views so you can get paid to keep it going, the focus on relevancy, the focus on the biggest channel today, the most subscribers today, like, there are pressures that come along with that where you get this tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
And that's why, you know, in 2016, I stopped vlogging. I was so caught up in that I was full of shit.
Absolutely cannot watch that video now. It's a different me that has just been consumed by the world of what it means to have a following, and it's horrifying.
He was on the high of views and subscribers and fame, and he didn't know what to do. He was just trying to be crazier and more offensive every day and try to just step up the bar every single solitary day. And I truly believe that Logan Paul was becoming obsessed with being a content creator, and not a human. And I truly believe that he's worked through this. And this is a clip from the Casey Neistat interview that I wanted to make sure to add in.
How many times can you say one thing and then try to be a better person? But truly now it's like, I'm vegan now. I got a girlfriend who is extremely wise. She helps me grow and become the person I want to become. My content is focused more on positivity and doing what you want to do to achieve your goals, which is always, like I said, it's always been that.
Well, I think that the sensationalism clouds that. It's like an eclipse. If that mission, which again I do think is noble, wanting to motivate. I
don't even want to say. But
when a moon comes in front of it, and that moon is a moon of sensationalism, just kind of the general attitude that you characterize as living on the edge, I think really clouds a lot of that much more meaningful ambition of wanting to inspire.
I truly believe everything he said in that clip. Now, I don't believe that becoming a vegan makes you a better person, and that's his redemption story. But other than that, I truly believe that he's working through his manic state. I don't like calling it a manic state, but I think that he wasn't in the right state mentally, and now he's coming to light. He's realizing his mistakes and trying to make up for them. So let's answer the question. Has Logan Paul changed? This is hard, man. I want to say yes, but I also want to say no at the same time. Part of me also just wants to say, I don't know. I mean, we honest to God will not know if he's truly changed for another like 6, 7, 12 months. I mean, honestly, it could be years before we can really see the change in Logan Paul. But I do believe he's taking steps in the right direction. So I'm gonna have to say yes-ish. I do believe Logan Paul is the same person, but I do believe that he's slowly changing. He's becoming more mature just because of this whole experience. I mean, how can you not? And like I said at the beginning, I just want to preface that I am not a Logan Paul fan or a Logan Paul hater. I'm very much in the middle. I'm trying to look at this as unbiasedly as possible as a human-to-human basis. And just overall, I feel like he's changing. He's going to the right direction. He's just not anywhere near there yet. Yeah, there's so much more that I want to talk about with Logan Paul, the KSI fight, you know, his business, all the different stuff like that. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, this actually is the first part in a 3-part series about Logan Paul and this whole journey of recovering, rehabilitating his image, all the different stuff like that about Logan Paul. I'm genuinely really curious and genuinely interested in this whole story as an entrepreneur and as a business person. I as much as I don't look up to Logan Paul as a person, I look up to him in the business standpoint. No one gives him the credit he deserves in the business field. The next episode, which will be releasing next Sunday, will be called Logan Paul is Actually a Genius, and the next episode after that, the final episode, is called How Logan Paul Recovered. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below, and do me a favor, let me know in the comments if you think Logan Paul has changed or not. I'm genuinely curious. Let's have a conversation. Logang, I encourage you to talk about Logan in the comments. Logan haters, let's all have a conversation. Let's all have a conversation together about Logan Paul. That's the whole purpose of this series. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe. Like I said, this is a 3-part series, so make sure you don't miss a video. It's amazing. I make videos all about entrepreneurship, how to grow as a business person, my personal life as an entrepreneur. Like, check out my content. It's great. It's gonna be cool. It's all good. And last but not least, make sure to push the notification bell. You guys totally should. There's no reason not to, and it's amazing. Push the button. It's great. Peace, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.